Hello and good evening and welcome back to Villars-sur-Olon, this beautiful Swiss town nestled in the Alps and the scene for tonight's lead competition. It's time for the IFSC European Championships. A balmy 19 degrees in the stadium, high humidity, but it doesn't feel like that. The wall is in good condition and we are about ready to get going. 8 athletes, 8 men, 8 women have made it this far. Whittled down from a qualifying round, semi-finals earlier on today. And now just 8 are left. And one of them can pick up the championship medal, the European champion. And there are some big contenders on the line here. Laura Roggera qualifying in first position. Sam Avezou in first as well. But don't worry, we'll go through all of the athletes who will be competing tonight, talking about the rules and checking out these 2 incredible routes. The women's on the left, men's on the right. And there's some special sequences for both. The women's more bouldery than we've seen in last competitions. I'm looking forward to that. So here is the top 8 for the women. Sorry, this is the semi-finals. About to say it's not top 8. It's semi-finals. So Laura Roggera down to Lana Skusek are into tonight's finals. Manahile just missing out there. Molly Thompson-Smith knocked her own leg off going up for a move. She's down in 12th. Vita Lucan, a bit disappointed from her. And down at the bottom, Valerie Kremer had an early fall that sent her down. Tricky. And hold 30, as you can see, knocking off quite a few along the way. And for the men, 39 plus was the high point from Sam Avezou. And I'm going to spoil some things. So if you haven't seen last night's competition, I'm sorry. But Sam Avezou taking victory in Boulder has a chance to make it a double victory here. 2 gold medals. Philip Schenk, last qualifier. Martin Stranek just outside. 30 and 30 plus, the difference between 8th and 9th. And Max Barton isn't going to get another medal after his heroics in Briançon. Nino, unfortunate, he won't get to climb in front of his home crowd, although there are some Swiss athletes inside our top 8. And down at the bottom, Simon Pocek, 14 plus, an early fall from him, head in the hands moment, but he will not climb today. So that was the story of earlier on. And this is what happened just before we came. Actually, no, this is the athletes coming on from the backstage area onto the stage to be introduced. They've already had the route reading that took place before the broadcast. Great to see Sebastian Helenke there with a big smile on his face. And look at that from Sasha Laban, loving being in front of his home crowd. As does Jonas Utelli. 2 Swiss athletes will get a chance, and you know they'll be giving absolutely everything here tonight. Lynn Van der Meer there, fantastic performance from her. Genya being introduced to the crowd. She was in action last night as well. I wonder what Skin is feeling. She looked a little bit tired during semi-finals, but did more than enough to get through midway into this pack. Zelia Avezou, so impressive, sporting a bit of a bump on her right head. I think she might have picked that up during the Boulder comp. Another one fresh from the Olympics, just continuing. Sarah Chopper, always impressive, up and coming. We'll be saying that for a while now. I think she's established by this point. And Hélène Janicourt, it was great watching her climb earlier. So often she looks frustrated, angry. Today she looked relaxed, confident, and climbed absolutely brilliantly to qualify in 2nd place. But Laura Roggera, the only one to top the tricky semi-final route. And probably the favourite here. Didn't compete in finals for Boulder, was in the semi-finals, so she'll have a bit of skin and energy perhaps in reserves. Move on to the men. Philip Schenk just squeaked his way into this finals place. Looking very relaxed out there on the stage. And Yuval Shemela, great to see him back in the finals as well. From Team Israel, and Israel have had quite a lot of success at this European Champs. Ayala Karam, his teammate, getting on the podium last night. And it always makes me smile to see Sebastian Helenke into a final, just because I love him, let's be honest. What a dude. Guillermo, up next. One to watch in the last few comps. Made it into a final here. Couldn't do the same in Boulder. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. And wait for the crowd reaction for this man, Sasha Lehmann. He was at the Olympics, he's at the European Champs. And what a moment for him. He will enjoy every second of this one. Luka Potočar. Can he add another gold medal to his collection? He's a little bit inconsistent, but when he's on form, boy, is he on form. Jonas Utelli as well, another Swiss athlete to make it through to this stage. And home crowd advantage, home crowd pressure is certainly a thing. Let's see how he can handle it tonight. And finally, I have just so much respect for this man. Sam Avezou won the boulder yesterday, qualified in first position here, and is a man on an absolute mission at the moment. You'd be a brave person to bet against him. So that's our top 16. 3 of them will stand on the podium. 1 of them will be crowned champ. And Sebastian taking a long last look. Hustled off by Yuval there. As is Laura head up. Just checking. Mattia Pozzi wandering off last, looking super relaxed. That lady, endlessly impressive at the moment as well. Well, there we go. That's the characters in tonight's story. And what a story it will be for whoever walks away with the gold medal here in Villars. It's been weird coming back here. We're usually here for the World Cups, but nice to return. And that is the lead wall. It's the same lead wall that was used at the World Championships. And it's unique because of that head wall. You can see there from the angle, pretty overhanging. The setters were pushing for it to be 25 degrees and they got their way. And whereas head walls are a lot less steep, this one is not. So it's leading for some interesting setting and some hard routes up high. Now, observation, that fascinating time where the athletes look at the wall. And this was the shot I got confused about. I thought that we were seeing this twice, but this was just before when they were running on. So they get 6 minutes in order to read the route. And I know you comp aficionados out there know exactly what's going on, but for those of you who don't, it may seem strange, but the athletes, although competing against each other, they help each other out. They try to read this route together. So they figure out how to climb it, where to make the clips for the quick draws, any potential cruxes, any rests. Of course, once they leave the stage, being friendly is a bit of an afterthought. Of course, they're competing against each other at that point. But you can always see, and I find it fascinating, look who is reading it with who. Sometimes it's teammates. Occasionally, athletes will join together with others who have a similar style or similar height, perhaps. And as much as they can help each other, of course, it can work the other way, because if one of them spots something which is the wrong method and they share it and everyone takes that opinion, well, we might see some falls in interesting places. So it's such an important part of any competition. The athletes can move anywhere around the stage within the boundaries of the barriers that are set up. So they can go down onto the concrete, away from the stage. They'll use binoculars to try to spot hidden jibs and holds. And as you can see, these two, my favourite part, the air climbing. Well, let's look one last time at the starting list in a moment, shall we? As Zhenya has one last look up at the wall with those binoculars. Anna Skusek will climb first here tonight, followed by Mattia Pozzi. Lynn van der Meer will follow things up from the Netherlands. Zhenya, has she got some energy? She's in fourth. Zelia Avezou would love to walk away with a medal, add one to the family collection. Sarah Chopper from Slovenia flying the flag. The highest ranked Slovenian athletes, Helen Jenikor and Laura Ruggera, make up the last athletes. Laura will climb last. And if you're a Laura fan and you know that jumps aren't necessarily her thing, there's a rather enormous jump. 2, in fact, but 1 at the very top, but 1 down the bottom, which might make those who aren't good at jumping just have a moment to reconsider. Well, it's almost time we get underway here. The first athlete, Lana Skusek, is out, and we will begin with the women. She's waiting in the wings now. Name is being announced, and here we go. Well, welcome to Villars-sur-Orlon then, and we are ready to get underway for the women's final. 8 athletes attempting to get just 3 podium places. 1 15-meter long route on this wall, with severely overhanging in the middle. And the difficulties don't stop there as you continue upwards. Brutal stuff here tonight. And recent trends in lead setting has meant that you tend to have some more resistance routes. This is not one of those. This is pretty cruxy. And immediately, it's pretty serious. As you can see, no feet campusing through. Cracks in a heel. Makes the first clip draw clip. The athletes need to clip every single one of those clips in order. Can't miss any out. And they're designed to catch the climber when they fall. And it is when. At some point, they'll be off this wall. So Lana chalks up before launching left. Careful with the feet as she drops that right hand under. Chalking up a lot, in fact, for early on in this route, perhaps indicating the skin isn't best. Heel hook in as she looks to go right, slaps onto that big side pull. Crosses over to the blue hold. And she is through this first section here. High left heel as she rests again. Makes another clip, that high heel. A good resting position here, straight arms as you can see, so a moment to shake out before launching up again. 4 minutes 35 on the clock on the bottom right of your screen. That is the time limit for the athletes. Lana spent more time sideways in this route than she has vertical at the moment. Really interesting section of climbing here as she brings that right hand through onto the crimp. A little adjustment with the feet. Confident with her body positions so far. And has a little look at that red hold to come. Nice and smooth so far as she nears the halfway mark. Over left, and she's approaching the first of the real cruxy moves on this. A big old jump from that yellow volume where the red jib is all the way up to the blue hole where the tick marks, the lines of chalk, can be seen. She's trying to fiddle her way into this position there. Wasn't comfortable for a while. Now has a little swing. She just about catches that right hand. Back in the chalk bag again. Trying to look at her skin now, see if there is any cuts in there, because often when an athlete is chalking up this much, it indicates that the skin is thin and therefore you tend to sweat more. Through with the right arm, snatches. She has a look up at this jump, needs to get herself set. Full confidence on this leap here. Flicks the rope around the arm. And the crowd start to build up their energy here, cheering her upwards. Back and forth though, not set yet. I think she's going to jump off that right foot. She's just swapping back and forth in order to get something back into the arms. From that angle, it doesn't look very far, but it's a full body length of a jump here. Although she's trying a sort of back into a drop knee. I don't think she's looking to jump or reach it statically from that position, but it does indicate that she might be pretty pumped here. And the clock is ticking down as well, 2:20. Having a little word to herself, perhaps. She knows she needs to go soon. You can't really get much back in this position, not off those holds. She's got to commit here. Now gets herself set up, two hands, easy, and I just wonder if she might have spent too long thinking about that. And there is a bit of a rueful look on her face there. But she's safely through the first crux, now can drop down, and this resting position much better than the one she was on before. Crosses through with the left arm now. Good results recently. She was 17th in Briançon. Checks the clock, realizes she's got 1:44 to go, and yes, she is going to have to motor right now. And she's still not hesitating at the moment and just not fully committing yet. And you can see with the way she's moving, I think the pump is kicking in. A bit of a swing of the legs. She could be in some trouble here. We'll find something, but no, slides down, missing the jib, and that is it and done. Yeah, 1:18 left. Looks down at her skin again, and that really was a battle from her, but what a fight it was from Lana Skúsek. for those of you wondering and asking me, no, Janja Garnbret not here tonight. She's taking a well-earned break, so the rest of the Slovenian team will continue in her absence. This was down lower to get into this position, and this is really where I think she just needed to go a little bit quicker, commit, because once she made that jump, she was into a better resting position. Of course, you know, if you're that pumped, you can't jump, and I do understand that, but it was the look on her face. Although there is a pretty powerful campus after this, but that look there, you just caught it. I wonder if she felt, you know, if I'd only just gone and done that move a little earlier, whether I could have carried on. Okay, time for Mattia Pozzi to enter the stage. So Mattia Pozzi is out and about, and wow, is this lady having a run of form. Let me just quote some stats at you. Last 3 comps, Innsbruck 7th, Chamonix 6th, Briançon 3rd and a medal. She's also very eloquent on a microphone. So lots of support here for Mattia Pozzi, please, as she gets underway. She's one of those athletes who has a very strong mental game. In Briançon recently, she fell very low on a qualifying route on a pretty easy jump that she just made a mistake on. She was telling me how she knew she wasn't going to do it before she made the move. It was just a feeling. She fought back, nearly topped the second route, carried on fighting through semi-finals, and then got that medal. And you just feel sometimes an athlete, when they're on form, can't really be stopped. And for me, she's at that level at the moment. There's still a long way to go here and a tricky route ahead of her. Good so far. She drops that on the left. This is where Lana started to go horizontal here. Similar method of Mattia as she cracks in a high heel. But it is a fairly big move up to that next one. Up easily to the side pull, not hanging around either. She'll know the hard moves are to come. This first section is just designed to unsettle the athletes a bit. All right, she approaches the jump position here. Right toe, making sure of that jib. And this is where we saw Lana start to struggle for the first time. She goes left, big side pull, drops down with the feet, super confident. She immediately straightens that left arm. Crosses under, that's not the best of holds. And you can see her just recalibrating here. She goes all the way left instead. That right foot will then allow her to bring the right under. And she immediately looks up at this jump. She can see the tick marks. She's going to go off the left, holds the jump. Just those fingers hold on. Flashbacks of Briançon then enter my mind. And she wants the crowd behind her. I think for her as well, psychologically, that will be a big boost, and she can just enjoy this next section. Thumbs underneath, right on those tick marks. Setters did tweak that blue hold, actually. It was turned a little clockwise from where it was, so he just angled it into a slightly better position, but there's no jib in there. And look at that sunset in the background. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Villars treating us to a spectacular display of light here. Out she goes, onto the sloper, feet dropping down here. And we can see the score on the left as she approaches the high point, just a plus away now, and I think she's easily going to move forward here into the dishes. But the route starts to ramp up from this point on here. She brings the feet through to where she campused up to before. Big drop down, trusting that left arm to lock off properly. Thumb in action here, but for the first time, Mattia really struggles, bumps the left, but falls. And she will say goodbye on 31. And with the likes of Laura Rogera waiting in the wings, I'm not sure that's going to be enough for gold. But another confidence performance from her, and whatever it leaves her, it's going to be another top 10 finish, well, potentially top 5 finish here. Well, she will leave the stage. Well, she won't leave the stage, she'll go to the left, where the athletes are sitting on those rather comfy deck chairs. I've sat on them, and you may know it's a throne she's about to sit on. That's classic Villars, the hot seat. Let's watch how she got onto that hot seat then. Super confident dropping down low, no real issue for her. Bit of a hesitation with which foot to jump off. She chose left with the right scrubbing. Easy into the jump, brought those feet quickly back in. Realised she couldn't get her feet, cracked in her heel and then campused up. That was where she felt, but enough for provisional gold for her. Right, Lynn van der Meer's turn to climb. Had a good comp in Briançon. She was 9th there, just outside of a finals place. That was her best result in quite a while, so this is a step up in terms of results. 2023 wasn't too bad, 15th, 13th along the way. This has potential to be one of her better results here, if she can keep it together. Does compete in Boulder as well. Fairly few and far between though. I think a bit of build-up towards the Olympics. Perhaps some strength training. But consistently in Boulder World Cups. So pressing up off the start, reaching up, making a second clip. Nice and smooth so far. Thumbs in action here. She crosses through into a high crimp. A little bit of a match there for pressing out. And yeah, she's making this, all of them so far have made this look deceptively easy. It's not. It's not one of those starts of a route which is a complete gimme. You do have to think about it. It engages you straight away. Up into the undercling now. Big moves up with the left arm. Looking good so far, nice and confident. In fact, all the women are. As I said that, though, she has a bit of a hesitation bringing that left arm through. Eventually just commits to it. Chooses not to put the heel in for the first shakeout. I wonder if she will put it in. No, just decides to crack on with that left arm. Now brings the feet through. Hips close to the wall. She puts some weight onto the toes of that left foot. Swings around. Interesting. Different kind of style there. The other two using the heel down low. But job done. She moves up to hold 13. Each hold has a numerical score. The plus is given if you use that hold. Go towards the next one, moving a center of mass, gravity, and hands towards the next hold. You do have to display to the judges that you are going for it. You can't just kind of flap upwards. Flap upwards. You know what I mean. Seems to have found some rhythm now as she enters the section before the jump. And although the jump is the highlight feature of this lower part of the route, I actually think the moves to get into the position are some of the hardest. Wraps that right arm under. And actually makes that look pretty simple, but it's this next transition that's hard. Mattia went all the way to the left, tried to cross underneath with the right hand, but changed her mind. And she's doing the same thing. Makes it work there, maybe a little bit more physical. No setup for the jump and straight into it. That's brilliant from her. She's going to go up with the heel as well. I think more to shake out than move. She's pretty tall at 168, and it's difficult to reach all the way up with that heel in position. Shaking out now. Looks very dark from that shot, but it's Still just about daylight here as we come to 8:20 in the evening. Brings up that left foot, gets in the clip, now changes gear. You can just see the cogs turning in her mind as she changes things up here. Big grimace though as she reaches into that left hand crimp. Up with the right hand, tick-tocks the legs over and easily into the jib. That was where Lana fell, and she will move above her into second. Dishes to come, 31 plus is Mattia Potts' high score. Of course, Lynn Vandermeer will not know that that's what she has to do. She'll know there hasn't been a top. You can hear that in this arena. The audience tends to go a little bit loud. Fighting hard though now, the crowd see it and respond. We'll get another chance to shake here, chalk up with the right hand. A bump, a tick mark to come, there it is, and that's the high point, 33 now. 35, moving well above Mattia Potts. He will have to vacate that throne in a minute. Into the head wall. Starting to struggle, fingertips only. What a performance from Lynn. You sense, though, the end might be coming here as she shakes out. Puts the high heel in. Locking off that left arm as she finds the side pull. Still going, screaming now as she matches, slaps and goes. What a climb, though, with a minute on the clock. 37. It's going to take some beating. Framed in the lights here as she swings, pendulums, finds the stage. And her night's work is done. She can just sit, watch, wait. So Lynn will undo the knot here. Let's have another look at what she did. Out with that left hand. And there was no setup at all for this jump. Just committed to it, absolutely flew. I think she'll recognise that that's not the hardest jump in the world. There are a few times I've seen very difficult jumps in World Cups. This isn't one of them, but it is intimidating. It's a long way. It's nowhere near high enough that you know if you're going to fall off, you're going to be nowhere near the podium. So it's important, but she got it done and is in the #1 spot. Zhenya Kazbekova comes onto the stage. Her teammate was with me in the commentary box yesterday. Zhenya full of confidence here. Yeah, Nika was saying to me that her grandparents are here and she's feeling pretty relaxed after the Olympics have finished. Always likes to compete on the biggest of stages, and at the moment, 2 finals in a row. She'll be into the combined for tomorrow as well. Lots of climbing still ahead for her. And it really was a good performance from Lead, considering that you could see she was fatigued. She really battled through. There's a left foot, cheeky little no hands there. Or the gentlest of hands, out towards the left. And what a shot that is, through the trees at our wall, the climber lit up in the spotlight. As she moves from the first less steep section into the very steep section of this wall. So out with the right foot, big bump into the side pull again. Little adjustments needed to make space for that left heel. Drags that heel down, and maybe that's the first sign that she's having to fight. She took a big swing there, managed to hold it, of course, but maybe not quite the body tension she needed. Gets the next clip. Not pausing, though. High toe, big right hand here. Motoring through as she checks the clock, chalks up once again. I said earlier, the conditions here are pretty good tonight. It's been hot all day. There was a little hint of thunder in the air, and I think that couple of rumbles in the distance did actually help to clear up some of the humidity that we were feeling earlier on. So Genier hits the crimps, makes sure of the feet as she crosses that right hand through. So that's the quick draw set, just the jump to worry about before you have to think about another clip. Right, here she goes, she finds the volume. Is she going to cross underneath? She is, unwinds, has the hands the right side of the rope. Puts in the right foot, she's going to jump off this. It should be easy for her, and it is easy, easily through. Right heel this time to shake out. So, heart in the mouth moment done as Genia shakes out. Crowd clapping along to the DJ's tune here. And it is a fun crowd here. There's something about European champs, any championships in fact, that feels a little bit different from World Cup. Not necessarily better or worse, but this comp, it's a pretty fun atmosphere. It feels different, and I think it's something to do with the pressure of the Olympics going, but Genia's snatched at that quick draw a little bit, maybe pumped here. Well, I've been saying that for a while, and she doesn't appear to be. Shaking out, she crosses over with that left hand now, finds the side pull, just fingertips and thumbs working as she gets those feet over, misses the jib for the first time, bumps that right hand into it. Hips nice and close to the wall here as she gets in the heel hook underneath that rope. Breathing hard as she comes up towards the pinches and moves into provisional third. Makes the final clip before what is quite a long run out. We saw some of the men binning it off that top clip and swinging all the way down. And these athletes don't have fear, though. Still shaking out hard. Drops in underneath, goes up with the left hand. Thinks about a high toe, changes her mind, keeps the feet underneath her, and that did work much, much better. Hits the bump, up into second now. 38 plus is what she's aiming for. She comes up to 35. Locking off, face super close to the wall. She latches that red volume. That's the head wall separator. Things don't really relax though, 25 degrees up there. Looks down, puts in a heel, rocks up towards the side pull. There are jibs on most of these holds from now on. You've got to hit them. It's hard when you're pumped to be that accurate. Minute 30 on the clock. Comes out right. Into first now, is it? We'll wait for the scores. Yes, 39 gets confirmed on the screen. So that is the #1 spot as we near the halfway point of the women's final. Ksenia Kazbekova. Absolutely awesome stuff from her. Well, let's have a little look at that jump first of all. She's such a strong boulder, a move like that wouldn't cause her any problems in isolation. It's just how she was feeling in that moment. And the second she laps this, the crowd really got behind her. I thought she was going to go. Her face was so close to the wall as she came up. That's where she finally fell. Stopping herself on the wall after that rather monster fall up. Well, 25 plus is the lowest point, 39 plus the high point for Genia. Lynn van der Meer and Mattia Pozzi make up our top three. Well, we'll have a little pause right now. Well, things are reset for the second half. Big names to come, though. And let's see some replays of what we've seen already, shall we? Lana Skusek started things off for us. Looked a little bit nervous, bad skin, something was going on, but spent a long time on this section here. On pretty bad holds, went back and forth for a while as she set herself up for the jump. Eventually latched it with confidence, it's got to be said. Easy peasy stuff from her. Didn't use that heel that some of the others have done, just committed straight to the campus. And finally sliding off that right hand, missing the jib, but I think a bit pumped by that point. Mattia Pozzi was out next. Had to set herself up for the jump. but way more confident in the movements as she got those feet onto the volume, found the red holds. This is the drop-down move from another angle. It's a pretty good hold there. Hit the jump. Body looked less confident than the face. The face was very calm. There was a little bit of an arch in those legs that I thought might have just sent her down, but she did it well. Was on the hot spot for a while, and then Lynn van der Meer walked up. And then it was great from Lynn right from the very beginning. Super confident stuff as she dropped down onto these jibs. Big jump. No problems for her. Put in the heel, had a shake. Up. That's the hold. Zhenya nearly dropped, as did she. Working hard onto the head wall. And finally, before the break, Zhenya Kazbekova reminding herself of the moves down low. The jump was easy. Confident stuff from her. And from then on, it was a matter of will and determination as she fired her way upwards. Hit that left hand better than Lynn did. And managed to get a little further. And she sits in provisional first. Our current leader, Zelia Avezou, prepares. So here is Zelia Avezou. Who was 10th in Boulder. Just missing out on the finals where 8 athletes were taken through there. Was a bit disappointed. Now has a chance for a medal here. Her brother already getting his hands on the gold. Can we have double medals for the Avezou family? And if you see also any of the Paris Games, you'll know the reaction from the crowd for these French athletes. I've never heard anything like it. The decibels were dangerous, frankly. French flags flying, giant pictures of their faces held up by the crowd who were fully supporting them, as you'd expect from their home games. So easily into the undercling, brings that left hand up. Nothing about the bottom of this route is proving to be particularly tricky for any of them. Not any of those unsettling moves we sometimes see. Bit of a rope drag there. Just trying to look down and see if it was a belaying issue or what it was. I think it was just a bit of drag in the system. Sometimes when you pull the rope from that low all the way up towards your kind of shoulder level, you can get a little bit of resistance coming through. Reaches down, makes the clip, up with the right hand. And there is Zhenya in the hot seat. That's the Villars throne. I love that. I know some of the athletes almost feel a bit weird sitting in it. I just think it's fantastic. Bit of drama, bit of theatre to proceedings. Crosses over that right hand. Just about. Front 3 only. Right hand through, makes that transition look super silky smooth as she now, though, tries to work out with the feet. She looks over to the right, maybe thinking about, I think she was just adjusting herself over the rope. Easy into the jump, thumbs in action, and she's going to commit straight into the campus as well, which I do think is the best way to do this. That's the heel in and hasn't really stopped yet, but this is the opportunity, and you get the feeling that she had seen that as a rest and was just going for that before pausing. Halfway up this lead wall now. Chalks up and resets herself for the second half. She'll know once that jump is done, that things are likely to get more difficult. Matches in order to make the cross. Swings the legs over, does miss the jib the first time, and that hold, you can see lovely friction on it, but I know that some of these holds have been causing problems for the athletes because they're so new. Quite a few bleeding fingertips in the isolation area. She reaches up into the dishes, hits the jib there. 29, leaving her in 4th at the moment. Oh, but falls coming down. I think that was more of a mistake than anything. It suddenly looked like her legs kind of skated away underneath herself. She tried to bring that right hand in and under in order to catch it. And she looks up, and that's always a bit of a telltale sign, and you can see some of that frustration coming through. And the fact she can undo the knot that easily shows that she might not have been as pumped as she would have been if she'd fought to the very end there. Looking forward to seeing a replay of that one, because it happened so quickly. Well, she'll say goodbye to this crowd. Very close to France here. Up and over the mountains towards Chamonix direction, in about an hour into France, or around the Lake of Geneva. Is it the Lake of Geneva? Have I made that up? What's the lake called in Geneva? You know what I mean, the big lake. Around there, when you hit France. My geography letting me down here. That was the moment she fell. I think she just misjudged it a bit. We saw, I think it was Mattia, really squeezing with that left hand. She didn't really make... It was the way she brought the feet through and was just a bit quick on the move. Didn't have the power to hold it in a one-arm lock-off and drop down. Interesting stuff. Right, next up, Sara Chopper from Slovenia. As we move into the final 3 for the women. Sara Chopper growing in confidence. I remember first meeting her, putting her on camera, and she was a bit shy. Now she can, one of the world's best at talking on camera. 14th in Briançon, 20th in Chamonix, 18th in Innsbruck for lead. But of course, she is a Youth World Championship gold medalist. Both in the European and the competition in Seoul in 23. She won the lead in that one. And her teammates just done some of the thing. Jennifer Buckley walking away with the gold for Boulder and lead. Yeah, Sarah Buckley, super impressive. Just when you think the Slovenian team can't get any better, you have a look at the younger talent coming through and you realise that we're going to be talking about them for quite a long time. So, crossing through with the left arm, easy through the yellow section. And looking from her body language, very composed at this point. I love the graphic on the left of your screen. There's one way to keep up with it. And there's another graphic bottom left as well. Into the side pull now as she hits. Shenya still sitting in the top spot. Smile on her face as our cameras find her. Nice and smooth at the moment, making sure of every movement. She'll know that no one so far has got that close to the top. So we'll be thinking about possible cruxes at some point, and this is very controlled stuff from her at the moment. Crosses underneath and bumps the hand. Doesn't have the reach the first time and had to work a little bit harder for that. Slightly misjudged the range on that one, but it wasn't bad enough to cause her any problems. And she's yet to look up at the jump. She'll have to in a sec as she crosses through, hits that left arm. Little bit of adjustment as she gets herself ready now. And stretches. Well, forget the dyno. She dead points it, but now she's got to bring that right hand through. This could have been actually a bit of a mistake, and lucky to get away with that one. The problem is doing it statically might be safer, but then you've got to still bring that right hand from an undercling all the way up, and you saw the swing that that caused. So Sara right now will be trying to calm that heartbeat down, but has a big smile on her face. I think she knew she just maybe got away with something there. I thought for a moment she was going to come undone, but she's okay. Left hand up. Makes the clip, puts in the heel, leans back on that right hand. She crosses through again with the left, hits the right, keeps the feet in play. Now business time as she hits hole 25. Up into fifth now, Zelia Avezou 30 plus with that pretty early slip for her coming up. So we know it is a hard move. We'll get the clip in first. And this is where it went wrong for Zelia. Hits the left hand, adjusts the feet, drops down into an intermediate before flicking up the wrists and crossing under. Zelia just making a mistake there, I'm sure. So 32 for Sarah now. Just smearing with that right foot in the middle of the dish, nothing to be stood on there. 2 minutes on the clock. She's timed this well at the moment as well. The Ida of the Slovenian Allays, if that makes sense to you, echoes out as she approaches the head wall. But this is a really powerful move after all that climbing, and she doesn't quite have the beans to get it done. Close, but 35 leaves her just about on the podium as things stand, with 2 athletes to go. But really the story for her was all about that jump, or lack of the jump, the dead point to the swing as she made it. Well, let's have a look at some replays, shall we, here? This was the dead point, stretching up, had the reach, but the problem was that right foot. She couldn't get a foot to equalise the movement, had to eventually commit to bringing the right hand over the top. Had the strength to pull it off, but I wonder if that cost her later on. Found the jib. This is where she fell. Big, powerful move up. Got actually quite a lot of fingers and hands onto the hold. In the slow-mo, in full speed, we can see that it wasn't quite enough. Down she comes and sits in third. So Hélène Janicourt comes out. And as I said earlier, it was lovely to see her climbing so relaxed earlier on. She just seemed happier out on the wall. I think for a lot of these athletes, that whole Olympic process was immensely stressful, especially if you're a French athlete. Not many places for lots of talented climbers. And I think it might have just taken its toll a little bit. So Hélène takes off those protective shoes for her climbing shoes. Up into this almost like a mantle feature. A bit less brutal than the women's mantle we saw yesterday. If you can, go back and do watch that competition. It was a good one. 8 athletes instead of the usual 6 in the finals. Right, Hélène crosses the right hand in underneath. I think this route is kind of a blend of power and composure, because Ilana Skouset kind of hit the wrong note. She was not quite calm enough, and we watched Sarah maybe a bit too calm. Should have perhaps turned it up a notch for that jump. So Hélène's got to play a balancing act here. Easy match, she opts for the high heel. French crowd really getting behind her. Not French crowd, Swiss crowd. Whoever's cheering is going for it down there. Delicate with the feet, good work from Hélène. Crowd cheering pretty much her every move at the moment. She is taking some time, and those eyes are looking left towards the big volume. Route setters playing with those cheetah holds to create quite an interesting sort of springboard corner on this wall. Matches the heel to her hand, brings that right hand over into the pinch. A little bit of adjustment onto the sloper to make room for the heels again. Intricate movements here from Hélène. Drops down, tiptoes onto the jibs. So gets set for the jump now, doesn't pause, quickly up with the two hands. She puts in a heel. Checks the clock just to make sure she has got plenty of time, 3:17. Shaking out those arms. Looks to the right, head on a swivel at the moment as she checks out the different options available. Nice work, she looks towards the right. Good work here, out, hits the jib the first time, no need to readjust. Keeps the heel in underneath the rope nicely as she finds this pinch. Exciting here as she approaches this 35 plus. You can see that score creeping towards Zelia Avezou, the two French athletes against each other. Genius still in the top spot, now guaranteed a medal. Good work, finds that intermediate, which is so important to stop what happened to Zelia, which is to come, she could come straight down to the right hand. Way more powerful, couldn't pull it off. Helene read it well, and this does move her up into fourth now, nearing the podium. Couple of moves away, right hand just about. This bump is powerful, she sticks it, fingers uncurling though, still not on the podium according to this score. Falls now, we'll wait and see, 35, she might be a plus away. Well, if things stand like that, it's fourth. Sometimes the scores take a while to be updated though. And of course, the appeal process can come afterwards. The French team might be having a long look at that one, because a plus would make all the difference if that's the case. Bit of frustration from Helene, but it was a good run, nice and clean. And that final move is going to be talked about for a while. That was the jump, nice and smooth, brought the feet through. This was down low before she could make the move up to that red hold, made the bump, looked on the edge, brought the left hand through, but you can see that right arm and elbow start to come up. Those fingers desperately clawing on, with the elbow slowly going up, sending her down. Well, final athlete to come, and it's Laura Rogera. So she looked fantastic in semi-finals, the only one to top the route, any of the routes, in fact. And she'll just remind herself of some of these sequences. Now, we all know, elephant in the room here, that Laura Rogera does not like jumping around. We saw it in Briançon, where she hesitated for a long time for the jump. I think she will have made those mental adjustments. She'll know that she just has to commit to it. It's not too hard a jump. I'm just hoping she can keep it together for it. Up she goes, gets the first quick draw in. Two clips down now, and the audience going slightly eerily silent as they watch on. I know she's got a long way of climbing to go before she can start to compete for a podium. There's Zhenya watching on. Guaranteed silver at this point. Can she get a gold? So much support for her. Right now, all eyes are on Laura. So Lynn van der Meer and Zhenje Kazbekova are guaranteed medals. Just what colour makes the high clip? Undercling, locking off those fingers with the thumb. If it was any other athlete, I'd say she looks a little bit unsettled, but I know Laura's style by now, and she can continue looking unsettled for an entire route sometimes. It's just her style. It's the little details, the right foot hanging, just showing she's feeling good at the moment. Right, she's had her rest, and it's pretty much the only rest until after the jump now. Has a heel in. Nearly heel hooks her own fingers, but just about makes room for it. And we've seen a few different methods through here. Helene, I think, has done it best from what I saw. Every athlete, different strengths. Laura, a little bit shorter. She's going to have to really swing into that, and that was a bigger move than most as she finds the underclings. Everyone else managing to span that gap, but she was a little bit over towards the right when she made the commitment to the move. And at that point, it was done. If she'd hang around there trying to readjust, it would have been over. But the jump to come. So, Laura fans, here we go. Hopefully she doesn't give us that roller coaster ride we see in Briançon. Will she go quickly? I think she is. Gets herself set. Up she goes. Easy peasy. And from here on, it's now anyone's, well, it's Laura's game to be won. Right hand in. Music ramps up in the background as the DJ senses, as we all do, that that was a big moment. Has a look at the clock. She'll see the 3 minutes 13. And we'll take this opportunity to rest. She's very good at spending her time, is Laura. She can sometimes push it. Used to be a bit slow, but recently she's got it pretty much spot on. Knows it's a weakness, will be very aware, and you can see how aware she is at the time whenever she climbs. Oh, nearly didn't get that one though. Had to make an adjustment with the right hand. Brought the left into a heel. 7th now. Quite a way to go before she'll challenge for the podium. 35 plus is Sarah Chopper. The only one not guaranteed a medal out of that podium. Lynn van der Meer and Zhenje down in front with 39 plus. Out with the left hand, little adjustments with the feet. Steps the foot over, flicks it over the rope. The audience building in their intensity as she drops down onto that left arm. Zelia Abazu struggled here, no issues for Laura. Didn't need the intermediate. Breathing deep as she boosts up with that left arm. Crowd get behind her here. Gets into 5th, 32. Right toe, just. This is where Helene's fingers started to unwind and unwrap. Laura hits it better, locks it off. Into that pinch now. She finds the left foot. Big move to come, but she's so good at locking off, she can chalk up mid-movement. She's going to push into the podium now, so she's guaranteed a medal. Big moves to come here. 37. Remember, she wants 39 plus. Will she be the European champ here? We'll drag the rope up for one final clip. That's the lady whose gold might be in danger right now. Has she left enough for this top sequence, though? Right hand on the pinch. Left foot on the jib. Finds the right foot. Into 39. I think this should be enough. Wraps those feet through, and yes, as the score ticks over to 40, she is our winner here tonight. How far can she get on this route? Big drop knee, fires over. I think she'll know from the crowd what's going on here. Big move over, pushing with those arms, creeping the left hand towards the side pull, gets it, wraps the thumb. Can we see another top? 2 big moves to come though. Wild leap up, she hugs it, holds it, she should be in here. Got to clip that final quick draw. You can't match like you are in Boulder. Puts a high, high heel in, makes the match. She's so run out as well on this wall. If she gets this in, she will have topped the route. It doesn't really matter, but it's great to see. She is the European champion. And a huge moment from her, as I think you can tell. Absolutely massive. Was always going to struggle in the Olympics with the Boulder round, but this is her happy place on the lead wall. Laura, with a huge smile on her face, will celebrate for a long time with this one. Stands framed in the spotlight in front of an enormous crowd now as I look out the windows. Her screams just echoed around. Celebrating as she should rightly do so. She is the European champ for 2024. Hugs from the rest. Zhenya will have to relinquish her throne for now. Hugs all round. So this was the replay of the moves that got her that gold medal. I was worried about the jump. I think a few others were as well. It was no problem eventually. She did seem to learn from Brianne Son, where she had that hesitation before. This was the stretch out to the left, hit the side pull, a little bit of an adjustment, wrap the thumb. And at the top, whoa, those eyes were wild. Huge celebration from her. And I think she will be celebrating for quite a while. Well, the women's side of the wall will rest. We'll start to think about the men's route on the right-hand side. Big campusy sections in there as the spotlight starts to pick out sections. Let's have another look, or a last look at the results, shall we? Laura Rogora taking victory, 45, the top there. Zhenya Kazbekova, 39 plus, takes the silver. Lynn van der Meer on the podium with a bronze. Sarah Chopper was close, but not close enough, 35 plus. Helen Janikor, Mattia Pozzi, Zelia Avazu, and Lana Skusek make up the final 8. Those are the results for the women. Interviews to come, and then we'll get on with the men's comp. Yeah, strong showing from all those women. And some big names to come for the men's. Well, we're going to show you some replays. I'm going to leave you. Go and find Laura, have a chat with her. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Heureusement, la vitesse, tu nous as mis plein la tête, les 70 et 90 et compagnie, et 20 ans, et 30 ans, et 40 ans. 0 ans aussi. C'est bien connu. Bon, il vous reste de la voix pour votre un peu ou pas?
Laura, huge congratulations on your win. I want to take you to the jump in the route because we've seen you sometimes have difficulties with a jump, but you made that look so confident. Tell me about the move.
So the jump was not so hard, fortunately. I was a bit scared, but when I got there, I was quite sure I could do it. So with the years, I understood that it's better just going without thinking, and if it goes well, otherwise. And this time it went well.
It did indeed, and after that, you look so strong coming through the rest of the route. Were you at all pumped? You didn't look it.
It was quite my style, crimps and endurance, so I really liked it. And the head wall was really funny, a bit more scary moves. I really enjoyed the route.
And your reaction at the top was amazing. You were clearly so happy. It means a lot to you, this goal, doesn't it?
Yes, it means a lot, especially because 2 years ago in Munich I got injured. I felt really strong. I got injured after the first qualification route, so I couldn't compete. And this year, after Olympics, it was my main goal. And moreover, after Olympics, I had 1 week that I was totally done. I stopped training. But then I could find the motivation again, so this goal, yes, means a lot.
Well, it was amazing watching you enjoy that gold medal. Can't wait to see you at the rest of the World Cups. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Écoute de musique les grosses ambiances du plateau. Merci à TF1. Merci pour votre attention. Allez, musique, on y va pour la présentation masculine. Allez, mesdames et messieurs, le premier grimpeur à passer, representing Italy, Villars. Et on va se réveiller désormais, c'est terminé le podcast, c'est terminé les interviews pour les femmes. Maintenant, c'est place à la finale masculine, mesdames et messieurs.
So, Philip Schenk, our first athlete out for the men, just readjusts the shoes, gets himself ready, and our first look at this men's route. Nice run and jump start into the pinks, latches the toe hook, reaches up above his head, and smooth stuff at the moment from the Italian. Philip Schenk, one of the most powerful athletes on. In recent comps, he's really just focused on lead climbing. He's had some good results in Boulder though as well. 24th was his last pure lead comp at the beginning of the year in China. And this section of the route is interesting. Originally set it as kind of a paddle dyno. Although now the temperatures have cooled a little bit. The setters set this section in the rain, and apparently the friction was so bad you had to paddle through it. But now conditions have cooled a little, and you can do what Philip did, which is stop on the slopers and make these adjustments. But it is a powerful section, and he's cruising it at the moment. Hasn't put a foot on in a while. Now latches in the left heel. Resting here on that left arm as he looks upwards at what's to come. Powerful moves here as the route Goes all the way towards the right of the wall before crossing back towards the left. And we have some no-tex holds coming up. The first, a big move with crossed arms here as he boosts up, hits the crimp perfectly though as he puts in a quick heel and we able to chalk up. Puts a heel where that hand was before, and the no-tex is just visible on the edge of the spotlight, now more so. Now let me explain a no-texture hold, if you don't know what it is. Most climbing holds have some friction, something to hold on to. No-tex has become, well, more and more in vogue. And we saw these specific holds, first of all, almost a year ago at the World Championships. And we started seeing them appear more in Boulder comps, and now they're on the lead wall. Now, this next section isn't necessarily that difficult, but it is designed just to tense the athletes up. Make you overgrip them a little bit, squeeze too hard. Up into what is a good pocket. Middle finger's buried into that one as he adjusts the feet. And here we go into the no-tex. They are sinkers. If they had friction on them, you call them jugs, but they don't. So they're not. And he'll just be careful through here. You can see easy fingers in, and although there is that little ripple effect, a bit like a shattered windscreen perhaps, it really doesn't allow for much, and you can see the skin shifting. Wonderful shot there from our Obsess camera crew who are running the behind-the-scenes footage here and doing a wonderful job of it, it's got to be said. Now, next series of moves are exciting. You drop all the way to the left, around that. Oh, the setter described it as a sculpture to me, and I know what he means. There's a big jug and a possible rest to come, but hard moves to get into that position. Shaking out. We'll have half an eye on the time. Now we'll move away from this no-tex. Drops in with the right hand. Looks around the corner. Campusing once again. Wraps in a heel. And almost hugs this feature on the wall. Matches hands to feet. Oh, look at that. One arm just hanging above the crowd. Super cool. And chalking up with one arm. And it's not really showboating. It's probably one of the easiest way to do it. Although now he's stopped the momentum, he's got to refine it and drive those feet up and left. And this is a really spectacular moment here as Philip Schenk just hangs on. Now gets a heel in. Confident stuff for a finals, that. Drops over to the left. Now, I'm a bit worried about that rope now, because look at the angle of it. And he's going to have to flick that, as the rope drag will be horrendous, and I don't think he's realised. Now he does, see, flicking with the feet. And actually, he did that pretty smoothly. And it was good that he did, because for a moment I thought he was in real trouble there. It was caught underneath him. He hasn't made this lower clip yet, though. And he falls going up to the next move, but he was happy with that one, and he should be. 36, that was a strong performance. And I think that image of him hanging above the crowd, silhouetted against the wall, will be with me for quite a while. Great moment. Well, the party in full swing now. The audience lit by red lights in the background from the Boulder wall, which is being reset for the combined competition, which kicks off tomorrow, 10 a.m. Let's see some of his highlights. This was on the no-tex. You could see that wonderful shot of the skin just sliding down. Wrapped himself around. And eventually just decided to drop down. And that was so cool. And it looked outrageous. But sometimes hanging off with the one arm like that isn't too bad. That was the rope that did get caught underneath, and nasty left-hand crimp. Not particularly in-cut, fairly slopey, and not the easiest thing to hold on to, that. Yuval Shemela in the shadows. Comes into the light now. He's 25. Ninja Warrior winner in Israel. And during the semi-finals, he climbed as if there was a rocket attached to him. Super fast, never stopped, never slowed down. And I just wonder if he's going to carry that on into the finals, that style of climbing. Well, he runs quickly into the beginning. Up into the pink holds, pinches all the way through the first part, gets the feet in, twisting that knee down. Two clips to go now. Little adjustments for the feet as he finds the right pinch into the left side pull. Thumb in action on the no-text, and ooh, a little bit of a hesitation there. Didn't look too comfortable and still doesn't actually. I think he'll relax a bit when he hits this section. It's Yuval's happy place. And interestingly, he's using a heel. Philip just decided to campus through it, which we certainly enjoyed watching. Bumps the right hand, now goes to full campus mode. Thinks about putting a heel. And so far, Yuval is struggling a bit. It is hard down low. Philip Schenk made it look like absolute child's play, but it's harder than it looks. And Yuval twice now has had moments that have caused me just to briefly hold my breath. Fires up though, with that right hand. Quickly off the crimp though. All the way around the corner. And that was the first of Yuval's power screams, which is interesting as well. Blocked, you can see he can get his fingers in, can't really hold onto it properly though. No palm involved in this one as he finds another long clip around his head. Buries those fingers in the pocket, leaps up again into the no-text, but he's got to be careful here. You can't hurry this sequence. You can apparently campus it though. Makes the match on the right as he re-chalks up, making sure of this move. And interestingly, so what he's doing here is actually removing a bit of chalk. These holds work better when your hands are a little bit damp. And I think he just took a little bit of the sweat. And it sounds gross, but who cares, it's climbing. And he's just using it to just moisten his hands in order to make the next section of moves slightly easier. It is a balancing act though. Obviously you don't want wet hands, but it's something we call sticky damp back in the UK anyway. Although now he's chalking up, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. He certainly put it on the back of his neck. I think he was just creating a bit of moisture in there. But now he'll move away from it, down, under, and he seems to have settled down after those first few moments, but no, as I say that, and perhaps, because I think that left hand actually slipped and he keeps looking at his skin. Maybe he went a step too far. He just missed that left hand crimp with the left hand. Yeah. So a mistake for Yuval. Unlucky stuff. You can tell often from a climber's body language exactly what happened when they've climbed to their absolute limit and they can't hold on any longer. You can see a sort of an exhaustion in their body, and often the knot is quite hard to undone, but that was a mistake from Yuval. Well, this was down low. This is when this moment where he tried to maybe bring a heel up. And this is where it went wrong. He crossed down with the right and started to just slide down, you can see. And that was a big ask on that right arm, locking it off to that extent and then weighting all of your body weight down onto it. He's a bit of a monster of a man, but that was a huge move he was attempting there, and it didn't work out. So 2 done. Sebastian Helenke stands in the shadows. This dramatic shot we get into the backstage area. We switch to the static cam as he enters the arena, hand raised. Sebastian Helenke, always the showman. What can he do for us here this evening? 5th in Briançon. Fought his way all the way through. I think he was actually yellow carded in that competition because he was so angry at messing a route up, but he fought back and nearly made the podium. That was his last comp. Chamonix 33rd, so we talk less about that one. But he's on a return from another injury that he's had to come through. But whatever happens when Sebastian's on the wall, I'm smiling. So Sebastian on the pinks down low, changes the hands, gets the heel in. Up into the first of the pinches, and Yuval looked a bit hesitant, and as does Sebastian, and he falls. Oh, well, look, it just happens sometimes. It really does. It can happen in a heartbeat, a slip, a moment. It's happened to the best of them. And we'll, of course, see where it went wrong for Sebastian, but not what he would have wanted. Oh, you got a feel from in a final as well for the European champs. A big early fall. Didn't look uncomfortable, to be honest. It's where Yuval had his moment, but let's see what went on here. I honestly have no idea. The heel looked good. He had the range. I can't figure that one out. Nothing seemed to pop. Wow. Well, some drama here. And honestly, if you watch comp climbing enough, you'll know those moments are inevitable. What a shame for him. Guillermo, up next from Spain, enters the stage. All-rounder is this man. Best result recently was Chamonix, where he was 8th. And he's only 18, remember, so he's got a long, long way to go in his career. Won the last European Cup, was in Augsburg this year. And he will, as everyone's allowed to, take his up to 40 seconds to reread the route. Remind yourself. Right, let's watch now. I'm super nervous suddenly. So as Sebastian did, he had the heel, eyes it up. I just think that left hand isn't very good. It's hard to tell from this angle. I've got to go and find Sebastian and find out what went wrong in that moment. Okay, campuses to come for Guillermo. Up. Oh, he pops the foot as well. What's going on in this men's comp? Out towards the right, makes space, has that toe in. I think he's just got to remove the cut toe. Campusing is the easiest way to do this. Out he goes with the right arm, brings the match in, puts in a heel. Wow, nerve-wracking couple of minutes here in Villars. Guillermo up, locks off the crimp, looks towards the right as he'll move towards the edge of the wall now. Lovely footwork as he drags, creating a bit of friction, stopping the swings. Flicks his hands underneath, up with the right hand. So far, so good. Okay, deep into the pocket, doesn't like the feel of that texture. Has he made that clip? He's made it, but he really didn't like it, and he's doing a very risky set of moves on the no-tex. It's generally better if you sort of move a bit slower there, but he just went for it. drops the feet down. This is where Yuval fell. He's got to find a safer method. And he's not going to do it. Yuval fell. Guillermo has the power, hits the left hand, drops in. Oh, feet sliding all over the place here as he tries to put in a big knee bar and finds it, and a no hands rest. That's cool. Now, we've seen no one else do that. I wonder if it's something he spotted, saw in the moment. It's not the greatest of rests, but it is enough. And that would have, hopefully for him, brought a lot back into his arms. And the other two, yeah, I think their faces, oh, there's a what? There's a knee bar. Now, if there was a jib for the left foot, it would be better. He has to smear, and therefore he's using a lot of core to stay in this position. He won't stay here for a long time. And everyone doing a different method. Watch this rope, though. He'll see it, he flicks it, and he's safe now. And the drop knee will be a second position to rest. That right knee turned down towards the ground. He stands up, snatching just a little bit here, but he's in second. Right elbow going up a tiny bit. Indication of the fatigue. Just gets that left hand onto the crimp. Keeps an eye on that clock, which is on 2:20 now, 26. Up he goes to the head wall. Somehow he's still on. Only just, though. Campuses again. Fights his way up onto that blue volume, up to the pink. Up into provisional first with a 39. Great climb from him. Wow, well, the young Spaniard moves into the top spot. And that was certainly dramatic. There were moments in there I thought he was gone, but he managed to hold on. And this crowd are being treated to something here tonight. Well, we'll have our pause in the midway point. There's 4 athletes to come here. Watch Guillermo as well. He had a bit of an issue with his left foot. There was the big pop, but luckily he had 2 points of contact on up high. The drop down, super powerful, and this knee bar I really enjoyed after this. 1 foot smearing on the wall, knees locked in underneath, managed to take both hands off briefly. And then from then on, he was a powerhouse. And the final couple of moves, I thought he was gone a couple of holds earlier actually, but managed to bring that left leg up. Fired up towards that, was a bit low, burning out, down he comes. Well, let's have a look at things, how things stand. Guillermo, 39 plus, is our current leader. Philip Schenk, second, the first athlete out with a 37. Yuval had a fairly early fall, I think it's going to show, but not as early as Sebastian Helenke, just 5 plus from him. Well, let's have a look at what was, have a little pause in proceedings as we reset for our second fall. Well, we've had 4 athletes compete. We've got 4 more to come. And it's time for this crowd to come alight as Sasha Lehmann walks onto the stage and the crowd get to their feet as they celebrate with him. Everyone pressing forward. Now, Sasha has to keep things together here. It's his kind of a route. Can he get this done? Guillermo in the hot seat. All right, he's underway. Quickly into the first few moves here. Crosses through the crowd, a little bit tense at the moment. Of course, there's another Swiss athlete to come after this. Sasha was 16th in the boulder round earlier on. Not bad, but this is where he'll want to excel. Last results were good for Lead, 7th Chamonix, 9th Innsbruck. And of course, he has won gold medals. 2023 was his last gold in Innsbruck. More than capable of doing it. And he would love to be European champion. Sebastian looking on. Keeping it smooth through the horizontal green holds, which are much worse than they look. Big moves to come out towards the right. Styles Sasha has, you could recognize it in a silhouette. This is the perfect position to be in as a resting climber. Fingers stretching out, allowing the pump to leave those arms, recover a little. And then he'll change gear as he comes out towards the first of the crimp. Comes right, careful of the rope. Clip above his head now, keeping things very calm as he crosses under what is a good hold, but the unwind is not so good. Big moves, another heel is found. And this next hold is worse than it looks, and a few of them have been quite surprised by it, but Sasha, no issues so far. And quite a deep pocket to come before the no-techs. A clear sort of highlight to this route in the next few clips. Pocket is deep as he hits the no-techs, makes a little match, goes quickly off it, launches into the next few. All right, nervy move to come though. This drop down, you have to have some power in your arms to make this happen. Flicks the feet out left. Crosses under. This is the big drop down move. He's got a heel where his hand needs to be, and for a moment that was problematic. Oh, and he loses the right. Really tricky. And he was in some trouble there, and he's straight away into his resting position because that was not as smooth as he would have liked. 2 little mistakes, but luckily a big rest to come. And if you're new to the sport, remember the athletes don't get to see each other's run. So that knee bar that was found before, Sasha won't know it's there. And honestly, I don't think many people would have seen that one. It's not the best of knee bars, but if you're the right height, the right shape, it can work. But Sasha is trying to drive over here. Big kick with the legs. Careful of the rope as he pushes upwards. It's kind of behind him, it's blind. He'll feel it pulling though. And now he looks down and cleverly just adjust it. It's a good bit of setting that, you know. It's won the athlete's spot. It hasn't caused any problems at the moment. And actually it's kind of a feature of the route almost. Hits the crimp. Middle finger at a crazy angle. Onto the head wall for Sasha, into second now. This crowd is going to go crazy if he can jump above the Spaniard. He's close now on 39 and looking comfortable. matches with the feet, up towards the crimp with the right hand. Left, a little bit of a drop knee. He's still going. Brutal section of the route to come though as he hits hold 43. Elbows at an angle now. Comes over to the right. Big pinch from Sasha. Come on, one move away now, and it's a big one, but can't quite hold it. But that was a strong showing, and 44. Pretty much perfect. And the crowd know it as well. Something happened in that head wall, and Sasha found a 7th gear. And it shows his experience actually in climbing intelligence. The fact that he did make those 2 mistakes in the middle, could recover from them well enough to climb that well. Let's see his highlights then. Down low it was good. That was the wraparound hold that's not as good as you want it to be. And then from here, our cameras couldn't really keep up with him. He just fired up and left away from it, quickly brought the feet in. You can see the Olympic rings there on his shoe. But this is where it started to go a little bit shaky for him. Tried to bump down with the right hand and just slipped. Little adjustment with the hands, but the head wall is where, for me, he was most impressive. Up he goes towards the top. Couldn't finish the route. Wow, what a climb. So, Luka Pottinger out on the stage as we hit our final 3 here in Villars. Didn't have the greatest of the Boulder rounds, down at 37th yesterday. Of course, competing at the Olympics. 16th there. And has been inside of the top 20 last few comps. The highlight for him was that gold medal a few years ago in Copper. 2022 was when he won that one. All right, so he goes with some... Is that James Bond in the background? Oh, no, he has a slip. Oh, okay. That was very close. Something about these bottom holds, it's just awkward, the position. And that, yeah, he's really having to think about this one. And that's a foothold, not a handhold. He doesn't know what to do here. Well, up he goes. Real drama for Luka Pottinger. He is not happy. Reaches down to a start hold. He's climbing himself into all types of trouble here. He's going to have to do a match. It's awkward. And now, although he's in the position, that would have cost him an awful lot, both mentally and physically. Big move up towards the slopers here. Hangs, cuts loose. Luka immediately up against it the moment he pulled off the ground. So Luka with the heels on, now comes into the right. Still doesn't look that great. I do think, more than anything else, that beginning would have got into his head, because, I mean, it's certainly got into my head. I'm watching every single one of his moves now like a hawk, because it unsettled him, and you can see it in his climbing. He's just questioning himself a little bit now. Sasha sitting on the throne, #1 spot. Down he comes with those feet, finds the jib, looks up into the pocket. Did cost him a bit of time as well. 3:43. He has got time. But the fact that this route is toppable, you want to try to make use of all that time, and it cost him at least 30 seconds of faffing around at the bottom before he got engaged. Into the pocket now with the middle 2. Careful with the heel, he's about to enter the top section. Onto the no text. 2 hands. As he makes this clip now, has he got enough power for that drop down move? Checks out the clock. And the time is ticking away, 2:45, not leaving him enough, well, not maybe enough, but not a lot of time. And he's been on this no text for a long time. I wouldn't be resting here. And you can see him trying to stretch out that right arm. He needs some power coming up. And one of those holds he has to drop into is one of those nasty pocket-like things we saw on the men's old school / new school boulder problem from earlier on. Down he goes. He does have the power. Wraps the left leg around, but we're coming up to the 2-minute mark. And still below the head wall. That's the dimple hold I was talking about. A bit like Philip did. Hangs off with one arm for a moment. Now starts to drive like Sasha did. Flicks the leg. Watch that rope, of course. Every other climber has spotted it when they look to place the right foot. And he hasn't looked behind him yet. And now I think he'll realise, he'll hope it kind of sorts itself out. And it should do, to be fair. It's because there's no texture here. And I think he might take this opportunity. Just, yeah, he does adjust it. But it is still underneath. Good holds here. And if he can take that right hand off for long enough, flick that leg over, he will be able to sort the rope out. But he hasn't yet, and now it starts to become a problem. And you can see him having to wrestle slightly more than he would have done if he'd seen it earlier. Onto the crimps, high heel. 1:07 on the clock. Not a lot of time as he hits the left crimp. Up into 4th, though. Crimp and an undercling to come. Tickles it with the right hand. Scorpion with the legs. Still holding on. Onto the jib. Up and he goes. 49 seconds for Luka Potaja. And it leaves him in 3rd, but with 2 athletes to go, and Jonas and Sam being those athletes. It was certainly a dramatic run for us to watch. Well, Luka will say goodbye to us here, and let's see some of these moments. And it was down low where all the action had. He nearly fell there. I don't know how he saved it, to be honest. Did manage to recover, though. 2 fingers in that pocket. Was fine through here. Bit of an issue with the rope, but eventually it was maybe not as dramatic as it looked. But that scorpion move, wow, he had to fight hard on that one. So disappointment, but a possible podium place. Now, if you're the home crowd and you're about to watch your athlete come out, this is going to be a bit nerve-wracking, and they would be weirdly sort of nervous, which Jonas might pick up on, because they've just watched, well, they've watched Sebastian have an issue on it. They've watched Luka nearly fall. And they will be more nervous as they see him climb through this first section. Hopefully he'll be able to shut that out. Into the start position. Nice and positive, though, at the moment. Gets the clip in, comes with the right hand. Makes the match and no issues for him. The crowd will be happy to see those moves dispatched with some ease. As he campers his way up into the slopers, puts a heel in. Creeps up into 6th now. Really committing to the campus, which is good to see. Okay, well that heel, the setter's leaving enough room in order for him to get that in. The first one's blocked, as you can see, to prevent you just heel hooking away across that sequence and turning it from campus powerful moves into a heel hooking section. Out into the shoulder move now as he'll reach up into the clip. Hits that right hook. Jonas wasn't in Paris, didn't experience the City of Love, but he's here in the European Champs. And he wants to push that man off the top spot. Sasha Lehmann watching on. Up he goes, onto the no-tex now. The crowd getting behind him as he gets ramped up for this sequence. Hits the left, holds it, locks it off. Right hand through. Jonas looking good here. Chalking up as he gets ready for this next section. Bad crimps, small holds, and wild feet to come. Three minutes 20. Wipes a bit of sweat from his face there. Fingers in the next pocket as he wraps it in. Nika was talking about that the other day, these holds. She doesn't like him too much. You've got to commit to driving those fingers as deep as you possibly can. Wraps the left foot around now. And he'll try to find some kind of a smear on that wall. Will he get the knee bar in? Well, he's resting now, straight arms. Looks to kick the legs, hits it, rocks up. Good work, that tongue sticking out as he mantles his way up towards the next pocket. Big drop knee in, palming up. Crowd getting behind him now. As he moves into sixth, a long way to come to get to Sasha's score, and Sasha guaranteed a medal, of course, now. And Jonas looking in a bit of trouble, got a finger stuck there in the quick draw, flicked it out, up towards the crimp. This is where Luka Potaja kind of cut loose. Up he comes, falls, and it leaves him down in fifth outside of the podium. So Sasha guaranteed a silver medal now, and Guillermo guaranteed a medal as well, with just Sam Avezou to come. Well, it suddenly turned into a struggle for Jonas Utelli. And the crowd won't see him on the top spot, but Sasha still has that chance. He's sitting in the throne in the middle. Good throughout, to be fair to him. But this is where it started to come undone. Had to flick up a long way over that angle change, and it was a foot pop eventually, but I think he was more pumped than anything else through there. Sometimes those foot slips are a genuine foot slip and you've got a lot to give, but often it's a sign that you're getting tired. Right, everyone, this is a huge moment. Sam Avezou, in quite spectacular style, won the gold medal last night. If he can get to the same hold as Sasha Lehmann did, or beyond, count back, or a top, will get him his second gold medal, a double European gold. What a moment that will be. He said it didn't go the way he wanted in Paris. He came with a bit of determination into Villars to prove a point. He did it last night. Can he do it again tonight? But Will fatigue, will tiredness start to kick in? He climbed his heart out. Has he got anything left in those arms? He did in the semis, but has he recovered for tonight? Questions will be answered in the next 6 minutes. And a run and jump start, a big one for Sam as he comes up. Watch carefully though, mistakes can be made in this section as he matches out towards the left. No problem so far from Sam. DJ senses the moment. Drops a tension tune in the background. Up into the campus moves. I think Sam might just fully... No, he doesn't. Gets a heel in, as I say that. They are there to be had, to be fair. Drops the leg down. It looked like a slip, but it was just a positive move over to the right now. Adjustments with the hands. He gets a heel in. Everything about Sam Havasu is just snappy tonight. Crisp with his movements. Just look at the way he's hitting each hold. Sometimes you see athletes kind of bumping their hands, making those readjustments. Sam is pretty committed to every movement he makes. Up he comes, up towards this open-handed hold. Blocked just enough to make it uncomfortable, but still not too bad. And a deep pocket to come, but after that, this is the unsettling part for the athletes as they hit the no text. Heel in. Sam, of course, will have touched these holds so many times, especially last night. And then semi-finals, an entire no-texture boulder, so he'll be used to it at this stage in the competition. And might get some more tomorrow during the combined. Looks towards the left, gets himself set. Although young, will know you've got to save something for the next series of moves. Pretty unusual. It's like a caterpillar up on the wall. And we will take this opportunity to shake out. They are big holds for a competition like this, and if you're confident enough to commit to the no texture, you can get a decent rest out of it, and Sam has done that. Underneath with the right hand now, heel in the dimple. Drops down with the left, wraps himself around the corner. No issue so far, but now needs to make room for that left hand. Does it no problem. And like Philip does, catches it with one arm. And he goes for the two heels above his head resting position. Tried to keep 3 points of contact, of course. No one else finding that knee bar that is there. And Sasha doesn't look nervous, but his heart will be beating fast. It's always difficult, isn't it? You want to support your fellow athlete. You know you're on camera, but you desperately want to win. Doesn't go with the feet first. Commits to that left hand. Then the press and the rope in a much better position than all the others who had it hooked underneath. And a big drop knee that he almost sits on in the corner. And look, now he finds a no hands rest. And I tell you what, it takes a few things that. You have to be the right size to fit in that space, but also you need some pretty crazy flexibility with that right leg. And confidence. I mean, you're in a final, and you're just taking your hands off in the middle of a 40-degree overhanging section. Crazy. Cuts loose. Big heel hook in. Nears the podium places now. 34. Needs to get a 45 plus if he wants a gold. If he can get into the head wall, he really stands a chance. Hits the right, into the pink. The crowd know it as well as he moves into fifth. Now battling for pretty much the first time. Quick clips from him. That's the last clip until the top now. Sasha thinks he might have it. He's nodding his head knowingly. I'm not sure though, because Sam's arms are starting to come up. Good with his heels, always with the heels. So good and precise. chalking up big moves to come. You can just see out of the spotlight where Sasha got to up there, the green in the darkness. Left foot pushing as he crosses all the way over onto the crimps. A big move up into second, only Sasha to beat now. Creeps his way over to the right, that's low, and no, it falls. It will be silver to add to his gold, but that means that Sasha wins gold, and he is being hugged right now on stage. The second Sam fell, he put his head in his hands. He can't quite believe that. And again, after maybe not the result he wanted in Paris, more redemption for our athletes as Sasha Lehmann is the European champ. Absolutely brilliant from him. All came together in the moment. And Sam will have to settle for silver on the night. It would have been a wonderful fairy tale if he got the double gold, but the silver more than good enough for Sam Havasu. Bravos to Sasha, which is nice. Well, that signals the end of the climbing. Well, I will go down and speak to Sam in a minute. To Sasha in a minute. And of course, the podiums are coming up. So please stick around and watch that if you can. Nice chance to celebrate with our athletes. And I'll give you a rundown of what happens tomorrow when I come back. So this was Sam's highlights. I said if he got into head wall, he had a fighting chance, and he gave it everything he got. He was a bit low with that right hand on the worst bit of the hold, and it's such a wide pinch to hold. And fell down. He knew from the crowd that it wasn't going to be a gold medal, but a good silver medal from him. Well, what a competition. Tomorrow is the combined, of course, kicking off at 10 a.m. in the morning. Can't wait for that. Well, the stage will be cleared now for the flower ceremony. The interview's taking place on the left-hand side of the stage, and then, of course, the podium will be brought in and 2 sets of medals given away. Boulder round was yesterday, of course, and I can just see the athletes gathering back behind and the podium being brought on the left. Well, let's get confirmation of these results, shall we, for the men. Find out how our top 8 ended up. Sasha Lehmann, 45 plus, he takes the victory. Sam Havasu, silver with a 43 plus. Guillermo, medal for him, 3rd place. Jonas couldn't quite get onto the podium, but was close in 4th. Luka Poticha, 5th. Philip Schenk with that awesome one-armed hang. Yuval Shemela fell on the drop-down move, but was 7th. And Sebastian Hart goes out to him with 5th. An early slip and a mistake, which he'll be thinking about for a while, I would imagine. Well, that's our top 8. And a fun set of routes from all of the athletes there today. Well, I'm going to leave you with some shots of the action, and I'm going to go and find a certain Swiss gentleman and find out how he's feeling. See you in a bit. Sasha, you are European champion. The moment that Sam fell, you had your head in your hands. It meant a lot to you to take that gold medal tonight.
Yes, it did, of course. It was amazing to climb here back in Villars. Yeah, I was actually really tired after Olympics coming here. Wasn't quite sure if I can keep it together in my head. I knew that the shape still going to be okay or good. But yeah, so happy that I could deliver this night here. I was actually sure that Sam is going to do at least the same as me. He looked so solid on those crimps. And yeah, but then it's climbing and yeah, I got lucky.
Tell me about the route itself. Did it suit your style? You seem to be comfortable up there on the wall.
Yeah, I felt quite comfortable on the wall, but I think it was a really tricky route. I mean, already no foot in the beginning, and then especially those dual texture holds in the middle. I mean, nobody really likes this and feels comfortable on them. But yeah, as soon as I got into the steadier part where you got the crimps, where it's just about properly climbing, some good fights, there I felt good on the wall.
You have this career that seems to go up and down from these amazing moments of gold medals and then heartbreaking sections. Does this give you confidence coming into the rest of the season? Are you going to be competing in those World Cups?
Yes, I'll do the rest of the World Cups in Koper, Prague and Korea as well. So yeah, still some comps to go. Yeah, quite some up and downs. I know that I can deliver in some comps if I can really keep it together and bring my strengths and my power on the wall. But yeah, then sometimes there are mistakes in, not the most steady climber maybe, but yeah, really happy that at least sometimes I can get to those podiums.
Well look, I love watching you climb, as did the crowd tonight. Enjoy that gold medal and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun to be here and climb here in Villars.
Awesome.
Si jamais on a trouvé un iPhone avec une coque transparente et une carte de crédit dessus. Michael Smith. Michael Smith, I have your iPhone. Bon, mais si vous croisez Michael Smith, indique-lui que c'est moi qui ai son iPhone bien DJ. Il peut venir le demander et bien on lui le donnera. C'est tout ça, c'est carrément manuel.
Well, great to hear from Sasha. As he said, he does have the occasional up and downs, but he gives it absolutely everything on the wall, and it is a privilege when that man wins, it really is. So congratulations to him. Well, podiums to come, it's being set up. And it's almost time to celebrate with our medalists.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory.
Well, here we go. Podium time as the announcer's voice echoes through the stadium. And the women come on. A little shuffle around, making sure everyone's in the right place. Genya with a giggle there. She's about to do herself down a medal. Lynn van der Meer takes bronze here. It was a really good performance from her, right from the semi-finals, in fact. She climbed fairly early there, and what an impression she has made on this competition. She will get that bronze medal. Strong work. Laura with a big smile on her face, wrapped up warm against the cold now, which has crept in as we near 10 o'clock. Zhenya Kazbekova, silver medal for her. Big smile on her face, as she deserves to have, because what a medal. Once again, showing everyone how good she is.
Gold medalist and winner of the IFSC European Championship.
And the gold medalist will go to Laura Rogera.
2024.
A great climb from her. She said how much it meant to her after the Olympics and that injury at the last competition. She is finally the European champion. The toy goes inside the trophy. I kind of want one of them. The toy, not the trophy. So, national anthem time.
National anthem of Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, the medalist.
Big congratulations to Laura Rogera and Lynn van der Meer and Zhenya Kazbekova. Absolutely awesome from them. Fought their hearts out on the wall. Time for the men then. And we just spoke to Sasha Lehmann, and we're going to see him on the top spot. Ali Sash rings out across the arena. And that is such an interesting podium, isn't it? Sasha, the veteran. And two young, very much, well, I was about to say up-and-comers, in-it-comers. I don't know what the words are, but congratulations to Guillermo as he stands up from Spain. Bronze medal here tonight. Silver medalist goes to Sam Havasu. Even Sasha thought he was going to take it, but Sam slipped near the top. He came close, couldn't make it 2 golds, but a brilliant silver medal. But the gold medal only belongs to one man, and that man is Sasha Lehmann. Big smile on his face. He's fought for this for a long time. It will mean everything to him. Gold medal for Sasha.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able to for the national anthem of Switzerland.
Well, there we go. The formalities are done. We know our champions from Boulder and Lead just combined to come here. And tomorrow is where we will find out who will take that victory. We'll work out over the night who's qualified. And tomorrow, it's all on the line again. Men and women, 1 round, Boulder and Lead. Those results combined together. And as the athletes celebrate, we'll go to bed and wake up tomorrow for more action. And thank you for joining me here tonight. Well, that's it for this evening. I will return tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central European time for the combined competition. Thank you for watching. Congratulations to all the athletes, as always. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and I'll see you soon.